All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders in today's video. Now, before we get into what I want to discuss for the day, I was reading a Bleacher Report article. As we know, Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, the two QBs, one of those is the future QB for Week 1 for the Las Vegas Raiders to start off the season. And we got training camps coming up soon. Actually, preseason isn't that far away, like what, 2.5 months away. And before you know it, the regular season's going to be here. Now, the thing is, we see Aiden O'Connell, we see Gardner Minshew. You're going to hear praise. You're going to hear a bunch of different things all over social media for the next couple of months. But the good news is, to me, you guys been watching this channel, you know my thoughts. I think Aiden O'Connell's the guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Aiden O'Connell could be the, longer term Raiders quarterback, but I understand some of the pessimism. At the end of the day, he is still very young, and last year was just a very small sample size. So that's why they went out there and they picked up Gardner Minshew. But I want to talk real quick about this excerpt I read on a Bleacher Report article, and when is this? They're basically predicting and projecting stats for all quarterbacks in the National Football League. And here was their excerpt for the Raiders. O'Connell was okay last year, and he's likely headed down a similar career path as Minshew. That's of a really good backup who can make a spot start here and there. But while Minshew may make more mistakes with the ball, his willingness to take chances also gives him a higher ceiling. With the passing game weapons, questions in the backfield, and issues on the offensive line and defense, the Raiders need ceiling. Besides, if Minshew can string a few wins together, his personality in Las Vegas will make for some outstanding entertainment. And they gave his projected stats at 62.2 completion percentage, about 3,700 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And so welcome back to the channel. We're obviously talking Raiders in today's video like we do every single day. So hit that like button, hit that sub button for it. I'm trying to this video do 150 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. So, once again, man, I saw enough from Aiden O'Connell to think he's going to win out this job, but I won't lie to you. Gardner Minshew did a phenomenal job last year, and he's done a phenomenal job ever since he got into the NFL. But the issue I have with this excerpt is still kind of the same misunderstanding of the Las Vegas Raiders organization in general. So here, like with the passing game weapons, right, they got that right. Questions in the backfield, I guess I get that. Madison, I think, is very solid, and I think Zamir White is very solid. I think they'll have at worst a round average rushing attack this upcoming season. But I'm just glad they picked up Alexander Mattison because he's just coming off such a horrible year with Minnesota. But at the same time, keep in mind, Captain Kirk Cousins went down in week 8 and they were running with, Josh Dobbs flew in, didn't even practice with the team. The Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation outside of Kirk Cousins' injury was just super inconsistent. So, and issues on the offensive line and defense, the Raiders need ceiling. So, there's not really any questions on the defensive side of things. And even with the offensive line, I don't have many questions, right? Colton Miller, phenomenal left tackle, right? You got Thayer Munford at right tackle. For some reason, DJ Glaze wins the battle. Well, I think his career is going to be very good. But if he can break out immediately and beat Thayer Munford for the right tackle position, he probably is going to be an immediate contributor, immediate star if he wins the right tackle battle. But as it stands right now, you've got really good tackles in Thayer Munford and Colton Miller. You got Dylan Parham moving over to right guard. You got Andre James at center, and your new addition, left guard, Jackson Powers Johnson. Not sure where the concern is on the offensive line, and I'm not sure where the concern is defensively. Now, I do want to talk about the defensive concern I have on just a second here, because it is June 1st, which means you're going to see a bunch of moves in the NFL in the next couple of days and the next couple of weeks throughout the entire month of June. But I read an article on silverandblackpride.com, and they were talking about Michael Mayer, right? 22 years old, he'll be 23 in 5 weeks. Went to Notre Dame. He played 14 games for the Raiders in his rookie season. Only 12 of those were starts. He was targeted 40 times, but he ended up catching 27 of them for 304 yards and 2 touchdowns. But one really interesting anecdote that I got from this article was he's a reliable chain mover. He's a reliable target. So out of his 27 catches, 19 of them were for first downs. 19. out of his 27 catches were first downs. That was an incredible stat. And we're going to pair him up with Brock Bowers, but he was picked 35th overall. He was a borderline first round pick. He said a lot about Brock Bowers in the draft, like Brock's a lot of speed. How are you going to stop us? And then you got to keep in mind, Luke Getsy, your new offensive coordinator, Cole Kmet was the tight end, the starting tight end for the Chicago Bears for the last couple of seasons or last 2 seasons. And they did a very good job. Outside of DJ Moore, Cole Kmet was really outside of DJ Moore and Justin Fields' rushing statistics. Cole Kmet was, one of the only positives on the Chicago Bears offense for the last 2 seasons, especially last year where he really came into his own. He got a big contract, and he ended up being targeted 159 times. He caught 123 balls for over 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. So if Michael Mayer, this upcoming season, keep in mind, Michael Mayer, if he catches, 50 balls, 60 balls for 600 yards and 5 touchdowns, we're going to pair him up with Brock Bowers. I was just reading an article on, or I just saw a picture on PFF, and they were going biggest steals on the draft from the first day. And of course, Brock Bowers was sitting there at number 2. I was watching The Herd yesterday, Colin Cowherd, and he had Greg Olsen on. Greg Olsen, Hall of Fame tight end, right? He was saying Brock Bowers in any other draft is probably going somewhere between pick 5 and 7. It was not a straight stretch. It was not a reach. Brock Bowers is going to be an immediate Pro Bowler. He's going to be an immediate start. He's going to have a phenomenal rookie season. He's going to have an even better career. And if Michael Mayer can give me anything over 500 receiving yards to pair up with Jakobi Meyers, Devontae Adams, Trey Tucker, the running back tandem, that offense could be really freaking hard to stop no matter who's throwing him the football. So finally getting back to the post-June 1st moves, I saw an article saying the Raiders should go after Stephon Gilmore. He only made $10 million on his last contract per season, so he's probably going to sign a reasonable contract wherever he goes. The Raiders have just over $17 million in cap space. However, they're going to get an additional $24 million of cap space once Jimmy Garoppolo's contract comes off the book this upcoming week. So you got guys in the backfield on expiring contracts. But even, players like Malcolm Koonce on expiring contracts. But I look at specifically the secondary, Jacorian Bennett, Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones, the big question marks, cornerback 2. Is it going to be Jacorian Bennett? Can he take that second-year leap? You got rookies, DeCamerion Richardson. You've got some nice rookies, Brandon Faison. My thing is with Stephon Gilmore, he's 33 years old. He played and started in all 17 games for the Dallas Cowboys this upcoming season. I'm not fully sold on Jacorian Bennett taking that leap. So it's going to come down to Tom Telesco and the Raiders, coaching staff. Do we need help at the cornerback position? Can we bring in a veteran cornerback to help out these rookies and year 2 player Jacorian Bennett? I think it's probably a move Las Vegas is at least thinking about, and it would not shock me in the slightest if they made a move for Stephon Gilmore or they made a move for some other type of veteran cornerback. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that defensive back room. Let me know any moves you would make in free agency once Jimmy Garoppolo's contract comes off the book. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you.